Hello everyone, Oz here from Fantastic Forum, giving you another look at my package. And today we're going to be looking at Aerith from Final Fantasy VII Remake. And some of you may be wondering, why is there a Moogle sitting in what appears to be a gutter? Well, we'll get into that in a second. So one box, pretty light, couple feet by couple feet. Nothing too crazy. When we open it up, I like how the box is a little bit smaller than the outside box, and it has the foam around it in case the outside box gets punctured or dent. It really gives a little bit more protection for the art box inside. So here's the inside with regular black foam and the strap down. That's always a nice touch. A little bit more security. 2 layers. Top layer is this street base and a couple of arms, and then the rest of the statue is on the layer underneath. So this first base I wasn't expecting. It wasn't in any of the pictures, it wasn't in the description of what the contents would be. It just showed up with it. And this base was added because this company also has a Cloud on motorcycle that's on a similar street, and so I guess they just wanted, if you wanted to display them together, you had that option. Now, I didn't get that Cloud on the motorcycle, so I'm not going to use this base. It's just going to go right back in the box. It's not a bad base itself, but it takes up a lot more room than the actual base that I wanted or saw in the pictures. Overall, easy to put together, not a lot of pieces. The base, the body, and then the arms are interchangeable, and that's really about it. Now, as I put it together, you'll probably see the first QA issue that I ran into. And a couple different switch outs for these. There's the classic weapon on the right hand, left hand to the chest, and then there's the second option, which is what I really wanted to use to display, which is holding the flower in one hand and the flower basket in the other. I thought it looked better. I think the hardest part of putting this together was actually putting that flower basket together, because it has that same dense black foam inside to hold everything together, and everything just kept falling all over the place. I was having so much trouble stabbing those little things in. They give you a little piece of like epoxy or some kind of sticky, I mean, it looks like a little chewing gum in the same bag as the flowers. I assume it's to keep all that together, but ultimately I decided not to do the flower basket on the arm because of another QA issue, which is the foot pegs don't line up with the holes, and it's not even like it's a little bit off, and maybe I can push it in a little bit and get it. It is really far apart on both bases. By the way, for a minute I thought maybe I would have to use one or the other. No, it is off on both of them. So overall, I like the statue. This is how I'm going to display it. Kind of a hybrid of what I wanted, which is instead of the flower basket being in her arm, she's got a weapon, which kind of makes sense because she might need it to fight. The flower basket is now covering the foot peg thing, and I think it looks fine. I like the detail especially in the jacket. The dress obviously has a lot of details. It looks good. The jacket has a little bit more detail. It has a little bit of a plasticky look, not the leather look that you kind of expect, but it's not too bad, especially from a distance. Right now, I'm kind of close to it, and the way the lighting is affects it a little bit more, but it looks really good. And it might just be the bright red of it, because the belt does look a little bit more leathery. This one came with this little Moogle. I think it was a pre-order bonus on like the first 50 sold. They only made 188 supposedly, and this is apparently number 34. And again, the Moogle for the most part is easy to put together. A couple wings and the back of his bandana. The little ball on top of his head is the only thing that, while it fits and it feels sturdy, it falls out a lot. And he's not completely stable. If he's sitting down, any little movement will have him fall over and that ball will just roll out. So that's probably another QA issue, but not as huge as the foot pegs. And as far as the base, there's a little tiny Aerith down there that I might use some of that little sticky tack to get on there, because she's supposed to be sitting in the back facing out, and then there's a light in here that when you turn it on, it has this effect that, while cool, I couldn't get her all the way back there. The top doesn't come off. It doesn't open up, so you kind of have to get some tweezers or something and kind of get it back there. And there's no like pegs or anything to hold her, so it's really easy for her to fall over if this gets moved too much. These windows are kind of a see-through plastic, so I'm thinking if I just have, a light behind it, that'll probably give me the same effect. Now, the reason I'm not using the actual light in there is, by the way, here's how you put it in. There's a piece on the top that comes off, and then in there's the button and the whole light mechanism. The problem I had was, even though it came with a battery, I couldn't get the battery to slide in there. It's just the way it's situated and the way it's cut around. You're not going to get that battery in there. If you do somehow manage to get it in there, I don't know how you're ever getting it out without pulling out the whole mechanism somehow. I'd rather not go through that. I don't necessarily need the light. I'm fine with it the way it is. I'll try putting a light behind it, see what that does. And if not a huge deal for me. Other than that, the paint job is great. They definitely did a real good job. The boots look a little bit weathered in certain areas. This does kind of look a little glassy. I like the church. I think it looks pretty good. This base, it looks actually a lot better than which maybe this is a premium base over here. Is this the bricks on this kind of have it's got a little bit of plasticky look, so it's not as good. And also a couple of these aren't even, like, there's another Q issue right there. They just don't sit right now. It's not something that nobody comes to look at your statues and starts doing this. Well, no adult anyway. So not a huge deal, because it's not like they're falling off or anything, but it's still kind of and I don't get why they have chains on the fire hydrant, but they're there. They're good. They're metal chains. But like I said, I probably won't use this one because I'm not going to get the cloud on the bike. I saw pictures of it, and to be honest, it looked a lot like a Catwoman over there. Same concept, but she's cuter. And if you want to see me unboxing that, we have that video too. So like I said, I keep calling it a classic pose, and there's a reason for that, because I also have, this is an actual licensed from Square Enix version, and as you can see, same pose, same look. It's basically the same thing. This is just an upscaled version of this. And if you look for Aerith statues, a lot of these unlicensed companies are basically making the same one. There's a couple that make more of a fighting pose, and it's a diorama with Tifa and Cloud. So there is a little bit of variety, but this is what I see the most. Yeah, it's a great statue. I just really wish it didn't have this peg issue. The QA problems with the bonus stuff, I can live with, because I don't need to display the bonus stuff. but a little bit more disappointing when it comes to the actual statue. Like, I feel like this is what they should have gotten right, and then any screw ups that happen here, it's extra stuff. You know, you can't be mad at that. You know, this guy was basically free because the people that ordered it without the Boogle paid the same price, and I didn't even know I was getting this base. So that's definitely, you know, that's all bonus. I don't like to complain too much when something is free if it's not quite right. It does come with a certificate of authenticity, which I don't know why I would need it, but yeah, it's got their little hologram, little shiny badge right there, and I don't know. Are people making fakes of these? Maybe. I guess, you know, people are doing a lot of things for money these days. Ultimately, though, it does look good. It is what I expected. The foot peg issue can be covered by this. That's really the only gripe. It's such a big gap there that I don't see how they could have missed it. Even the production photos show her on this specific pedestal, so that's a huge problem that the person that put it on there didn't say anything, or the person who went down the line and looked at them didn't notice it, or maybe they did. Maybe they both said something and the supervisor said, you know what, forget it, just send it. I don't know if this is sold out, so it might still be available, but just be aware that you might have that issue. I haven't heard of anybody else having this issue, but I also don't know of a lot of people that have bought it. So that's it for this one. Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday afternoon, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. I'll let you figure out what that means for your time zone. We're talking comics, movies, TV shows, pretty good spread of stuff, and collectibles every now and then. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until the next one, go read some comics.